Hello, hello, hello to all of our viewers. Colby Melvin here with the wonderful, amazing, stupendous, I think of how many words to describe the amazing Robin Rice, founder of Your Holiday Mom. It has been such a pleasure to partner Moovz with Your Holiday Mom. You know, Moovz is a platform aimed at creating a safe space for the LGBT community across the world. And you know what? This is exactly why the app exists. So when the opportunity arose, I was like, absolutely, we've got to do this, because you know, Robin and I, obviously nobody knows our history, but we've actually been in contact for several years. I discovered Your Holiday Mom. Was it 2 years ago now?
Or 3? Yeah.
3 years. And so, you know, Moovz, we aim to build a strong community and a safe space. And obviously what you do is a beautiful thing and perfect for Moovz. So before we jump into everything, why don't you let everybody else know? Well, actually, you know what? Let's do some introductions. So,
okay, let's do it.
I'll start from my side. So once again, we have my mother. She's awesome.
Hi.
And then we also have family friend Debbie, who is here because, well, she loves all of you that are watching right now. She doesn't know you, but she loves you and she wants to adopt all of you. Yes. All of you. And then here we have Squeaky, and there's another dog running around, Fran. So if you see things fly in front of the camera, it's probably a puppy.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourselves. And then Robin, tell us a little bit more about Your Holiday Mom.
Sure. Well, I'm also known as Shamama of Your Holiday Mom. That puts together the shaman and the mama. And then this is my amazing son, Taylor. And this is the first time I have been able to really introduce Taylor in the larger public way. Taylor is my trans son, and I could not be prouder or more in love with my son than I am. I know, Lucia, you understand that very well, and Debbie as well, how we can fall in love. And Your Holiday Mom was really born out of the understanding, as I was researching how many, you know, how many kids have so much trouble and how high the suicide rate is, and all of those things that are challenging. And really it hinges on whether or not there's parental acceptance. And I said, well, this is something I can do. So we spent all of, I think, $14 on a website, and we got moms together and we started writing letters 4 years ago. We write from Thanksgiving Day to New Year's Day. And these letters are just a virtual welcome into our home. This is my house. Sorry you have to sit next to crazy Uncle Joe at dinner. Oh, well. But, you know, just the real feeling, and just saying, you know, we love you and we accept you exactly as you are, and I will stand in as your holiday mom if your mom hasn't quite figured this part out yet.
That's awesome.
So Taylor, what has it been like? You know, obviously your mom has been doing this for a while. What's it been like for you through this, you know, kind of experience, seeing how she's, you know, doing this amazing thing for the community?
Well, I just have to say it is hugely rewarding. You know, my mom, she really has gone above and beyond herself, not only in accepting me and all that comes with having a transgender child, but just going out and doing one step further. Doing this whole advocacy is just, it means so much to me, because I know her support meant so much to me. The fact that she's extending that to all of you, all these viewers, everybody, is just, it's a demonstration of her generosity, and it really does mean so much. So it's just an honor to be able to see it, just to see what one person can do with the work of others to impact the whole community is just, it's mind-blowing.
Anybody can change the world.
Anybody.
Everybody changes the world. So, yeah. You guys take it from here. I got to do something real quick here. I'm hearing it. I'll be right back.
All right, you got it. So Taylor, where can you, for everyone out there, you know, one of the hot topics right now are a lot of transgender issues.
Yeah.
a lot of times differ from gay or lesbian or bisexual issues and everything. What has kind of been your journey to self-acceptance? And, you know, obviously having your mom's support has been amazing, but what do you want to tell everyone else out there that for this holiday?
Absolutely. Well, I think throughout my life, I was aware of kind of my gender identity being different than what my biological sex would have suggested. But it was right around the age of 18 that I was just like, you know, if I don't do something about this, I'm going to grow up to be a woman, which that sounds like odd phrasing, but it's just like, this is really real, that like I innately feel a certain way, but if I don't do anything, you know, if I don't express myself, no one's going to see it. You know, I'm never going to get a chance to be me. So I think that was kind of the turning point, right? My senior year of high school, I was just like, I have to do something. I have to essentially fight for myself, that if I don't, no one will ever know. And I'll have to live the rest of my life not being myself. And just that, I guess it was just it was a desire to fight for myself, to really say, no, I'm worthwhile. I'm worth something. I think
I would know specifically whenever that, you know, whatever moment or situation that happened that you were like, you know what, this is me, and you sort of embrace that identity. I think a lot of people are really scared to take that step. And I know for me personally, accepting the fact that I was gay was huge. It completely changed my life. Like, my life didn't just get better, it got amazing because I accepted myself. So for anyone out there that, you know, is trans or gay or bi or whatever they want to identify as, what sort of testimony can you give that happened once you accepted yourself?
I say, I mean, with trans, there's so many different things, because, you know, do I physically transition? Do I come out socially? There's a lot of different steps. So I think for everybody, it would be really different points where you reach that. But for me, I think it was coming out, you know, near the beginning of college, saying I'm living full time as a man, and just having people see me, just be like, I always thought beforehand people were seeing me through a filter that denied people the chance to see the real me. So just being at college, having people say the right pronouns, having just being able to live free, it's just like, this is it, this is worth it. So I think it was just really that acknowledgement that, you know, I've been seen for the first time.
That's amazing. And I have to say, congratulations on, you know, it's a very scary but also a very brave step into accepting yourself, because, you know, the world is not always an easy place.
No.
So congratulations on becoming Taylor.
Yay, Taylor! Go Taylor!
Congratulations to you on being Colby and doing everything that you do as well.
Thank you. I think it is important for anyone that has a voice to use it for positive change. Whenever I came out and I was living in Alabama, and I wasn't surrounded by the gay community, and I didn't know where to look for support and everything, and it was so important for me to have a base. And that's where my mom came in. It's like, she was my support. Now that I do have this voice, I think it's absolutely important to be able to share that with everyone else, so that nobody else has to feel alone. Because and honestly, we're not alone. We really aren't. The community is here for each other. It's, you know, blood relationships don't mean absolution. You know, I found people that I consider family in the gay community that we're not blood related.
No.
And that's one of the beautiful things that I love about our community. And one of the great things, and why I work with Moovz, is because we're able to create and, you know, share that community with everyone.
Absolutely. Building chosen families that's the phrasing I've heard a lot, is your chosen family is so important, because just statistically finding people who are like you close is really hard. So using using things like Moovz and online media to engage and build a community is really important. It's critical.
Absolutely.
It's not just true if you're in the LGBT community, because I was always weird and I had to find my community, you know, and I found my community online too. So it's true for all of us.
It is. That is true.
Well, you know, it's a funny way, and luckily we live here in 2015, almost 2016, where we have the luxury of social media to find these other you know, people with similar interests, and where it's okay to be weird. It's okay to do and be exactly who you want to be. So now,
and before we go any further, you just have to show what you're wearing. I'm sorry, we just have to see this. We have to let the public see this.
This, if you've ever followed me, I am known for wearing my onesies. I basically live in a onesie almost 365 days a year. This one is my patriotic onesie. So here you go. I'll give you a little spin.
All right, look at that. Look at that. Awesome.
They are incredibly comfortable, and I am determined to make them mainstream where everybody will wear them wherever they go. Like I wear this out to wherever I'm going. It's so comfortable, and I don't regret it. I will not apologize.
That's awesome. And we did the last show. You were making this beautiful gingerbread, and I wanted to see that again. Can you put that a little closer?
So yes, this beautiful work of art that is our gingerbread house. I will.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Stunning.
Indeed. Good job.
It's been appraised for 1.5 million. So we're now.
All right, well, I'll put in my offer early.
Real estate on our coffee table. It has 4 bedrooms, a luxury spa, an atrium.
It's even got closets.
It has closets.
Lots of closets.
And there,
stay in them.
everybody's coming out.
I love the house. I mean, look at it. We even have a little icicle right here.
Oh, look at that.
So precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, speaking of the gingerbread house, do you have any sort of family traditions, or what sort of makes your Christmas your Christmas?
Well, I think we you know, just kind of the gathering the family every year. But as far as gingerbread houses go, one thing my brother and I do really like to do is make intentionally awful gingerbread houses.
Not pretty like yours.
I think a couple years ago we made it was like a choo-choo train version of a gingerbread house, and we had Miley Cyrus doing her wrecking ball driving it. Like, I think eventually by the end of Christmas, she ended up being the star of the Christmas tree.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we're very simple. We're not, you know, we're very spiritual, but not religious. And so we have good family. You know, we have, I'm in my second marriage, and Brian is amazing, and his parents are amazing. And then, you know, Taylor has a brother, and, you know, Brian has a couple of kids and a couple of grandkids. And so we just get together, and it's just family. That's all. It's not like it's not built around the things so much. They're like right now, you know, you're not going to find, you know, that like when I grew up, we had that huge Christmas tree full of presents. You know, it's much more simple, but the love is there, and the presence is there. You know, the presents instead of the presents.
Yeah, they pronounce the same.
I like that. You're so Yoda.
Yeah, well.
That's you know, and we have a very similar vibe at my house, where we have a motto of make it or bake it. If you're going to give to someone, you actually have to have made it or cooked it. It's not about material possessions. It's about actually having time and thought into wanting to give someone something. So we adopted that how many years ago? It's been a while. And it's been great. It you know, it really helps to focus on the spirit of Christmas, and, you know, why we all come together. So that's actually a great segue, where I would like Debbie here. Well, yeah, I'm putting her on the spot. Like I said, she doesn't have any children. But yesterday we were talking on the phone, and I showed her your video, and she just started crying, because for years she wanted children of her own, and unfortunately was not able to. And the fact that she wants to be here for the holidays and everything, like I said, wants to adopt all of you. That anyone that's watching right now, if your parents haven't accepted you, your family, whatever it is, you have beautiful people like this
Mom.
that are begging to be your mom.
I would be so blessed to have all of y'all.
Need to click next.
Almost.
Because I do too.
You just have this,
Cry moment.
That's okay.
yes, it's awesome. You have this, you know, dripping love, literally, you know, weeping love is there, and the desire to, you know, to hold and to hug and to say you're all right and all of those good things. It's so beautiful.
It is.
And this one definitely leaks love all the time. Scoot over because I have to get up. Excuse me.
Okay. So Debbie, here's
So
your chance.
can I ask Debbie a question?
Yes.
Debbie, how is it that you came to be accepting of the LGBTQ kids and family? Because not everybody is. So, like, what is your story with that?
Because I love this young man right here so much. I just believe in it so much, and I really feel that it's going to help so many people. And I just want to be a part of it.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's, you know, that's one of the things about being from the South, being here in Louisiana, that I am very fortunate. You know, a lot of people see it as the South and they're like, oh my God, they're so like, it's like hardcore and conservative and but you know, I found that down here, it's some of the biggest hearts in the world where they just want to love. And all right, hold on, I'm being repositioned.
That way we can share you.
All right, yes. Share all these moms.
You look like an elf, I swear to God.
He is an elf. That matter of fact, you know, we're being honest. He's really an elf.
Yeah.
Not at all. He's really an elf. So you just came out, baby. You're an elf.
There you go. How many times do you come out in a lifetime?
Okay, so I want to take this opportunity right now to get our viewers engaged. So obviously the holidays are a great time. I want to know first from you, what is your favorite holiday movie? And then all of our viewers that are watching, please comment, what is your favorite movie as well? So do you think, okay, wait, first, both of you think of your favorite holiday movie. Do you think you have the same favorite holiday movie?
I don't know. I was gonna say the issue is that we're most of us are movie people, but I'm the one like black sheep, not movie person in the family.
We can't get him to go to the movies.
I would say The Lion King, but that wouldn't count.
Right, exactly. I mean, The Lion King would be the answer to everything if you ask. You know?
What is your favorite holiday movie?
For me, it's Love Actually. You know that oh gosh, I can't think of his name right now.
What's the one with the Christmas Island toys? Like that classic claymation, like stop animation movie. What is that?
The Land of Toys.
Talking about with the freeze miser and the heat miser one.
Like, yeah, no, it's like the Island of Reject Toys. Like, is that Rudolph? No, that's something.
That's Rudolph. That's Rudolph.
Is it? I guess it would be that. It was that like classic. You know, it's cute. You know, it's like
Melvin. We're Melvin. See here. Why? I keep wanting to call you Melvin for some reason. But anyway, Colby.
That's fine. I think
I was just gonna say we're pathetic. You see this, so you come to our house. You're going to see pathetic in many various forms, and we love that about ourselves.
We're trying. Let's go with Love Actually.
Love Actually. That's what it.
Love Actually. What about you?
So Christmas.
The original or the Jim Carrey?
Oh, I like them both. I love Dr. Seuss, but I love Jim Carrey too. So both.
That was a good movie.
I have to say that's the same for me.
Yeah.
I like the original. I like the cartoon version.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Christmas card.
Christmas card. What's that one?
About a man in the military that receives a card from someone from home and fell in love with the girl from the card, so he came in to visit her.
Oh.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
The love story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have to watch that.
There you go. See? If you're looking for something to do this Christmas, we just gave you your new Netflix playlist.
Awesome.
So, okay, you know, obviously the holidays are a great time for family to come together and, you know, really revisit sort of our values and the people that we care about the most. What is your suggestion for people throughout the year to, you know, if we're doing this great thing during the holidays, but how can we make everyone feel like they are accepted year round? That it's not just during the holidays. Obviously, it's harder during the holidays whenever you don't feel like you have family. But, you know, there's birthdays, there's, you know, things that you want to share things with. Well, obviously, we have the Moovz app, which will...
Yes, which is awesome.
Well,
Can I throw something out about the Moovz app? What I love about it, and you've said this yourself, is like it's not a hookup app. It's got so many different hashtags and so many different topics that you can really come into the conversation wherever it fits for you. And, you know, okay, so maybe I won't go as often on hashtag underwear as someone else might, but, you know, but still, you know, I love all the different topics that Moovz has. And I love that you're creating a real community out of it. That to me is what was really needed, and you're doing it wonderfully.
Well, and that's why, you know, when the opportunity showed itself to include Your Holiday Mom, like, I was so excited. You know, I sent you that email, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. Yeah. And it was great. It's because, you know, and also, like, I want to hear a little bit more about, like, Your Holiday Mom, because, you know, it's during the holidays, but how many moms do you have, like, writing these letters and that are involved? Like, it's grown over the years. Where are you at now?
This year was really, we got a lot of press. Well, we got, you know, we never know when a bigger name person is going to share it, and that can be any time of the year. So this year, about 3 weeks before we started, someone somewhere with a large audience shared it. And, you know, again, we don't know who
that person is.
We don't know, but we suddenly started getting all kinds of comments and things. So we had to actually gear up a little bit early because we try to respond to every single comment. And this is at YourHolidayMom.com. And then this year, you know, like last year we started out, our first year was like really gangbusters. Last year we had, you know, a slow start as far as the number of comments. This year we had 150 comments the first day. And so we kind of took on this, you know, this group of moms and said, look, we need everybody to be answering and commenting on the comments. That's really the best thing you can do, because we don't want someone on there posting saying, you know, this is really hard for me. And I mean, some of the comments are just heart-wrenching. And so we want to make sure that we have a response to those people. So, but any mom can jump in and do that. So the beginning of the year, I said, well, I'm going to put up how, you know, this is how you can be a mom next year, because we try to start the year with all of our letters written so that we're not trying to catch up. And I had 300 offers in 2 days. And since there's only about 40 letters, even if everybody doesn't follow through, I sort of stopped the flow of that because there were just so many. You know, and who knows where next year is going to go. This year, CBS Nightly News called and said they wanted to do something next year. So between that and Moovz, you know, I just want to reach as many young people as possible, and not even just young people. Sometimes you have the most beautiful comments from someone I remember one guy who said he was 60, but he lost his mom 20 years before, and he hadn't heard a mom say, I love you for 20 years. And so it meant the world to him, even though he's not, you know, a youth per se.
Absolutely. And I know, speaking from my personal experience, you know, I get letters every day of people asking me, you know, I know I'm gay. How do I come out? I see you have accepted yourself. Like, how do I have that? How do I do these things? And how important it is to kind of feel that love and feel like they have that support. Which is why I think Your Holiday Mom is so special. Because a lot of times it's really important to just hear that, like, you're okay. Yeah. Just what? You know, and it's something so simple. It's something so simple, but those words really mean something to people. And it's a lot of the messages I get are not from kids. It's from middle-aged adults that are realizing that they are now gay. They may have been in a previous marriage or something like that, and then they're engaging on this entire new journey. And it can be very lonely. So it's, you know, I think this is great. And I want everyone to know out there that, you know, right now for the holidays, you have Your Holiday Mom. But if you were looking for a support base, if you were looking for a community, we at Moovz are here for you. We will provide support and connection, and you're not alone, ever. Except when you go to the bathroom. We won't follow you in there.
Absolutely. There are limits. So I want to share one of the things that we do. We set up guidelines for the moms when they ask us, they want to write letters. We don't just say, hey, write a letter. We really set it up so we say, let me feel like I've walked into your home and into your family tradition. I want to feel like I'm one of the family. And we can actually, when we imagine, when we put our imaginations and our hearts together, when someone imagines over and over again that scene where they're welcomed into a loving home, something heals in us, even if it isn't our family. And so just reading the letters can change things for people. It's not just a nice sentiment. It can really change what you expect out of yourself. You should expect to be loved. You should expect to have dignity. You should expect to have respect. That's a baseline as far as I'm concerned. And so we're kind of trying to create that baseline for the readers so that they know this is normal to expect.
Absolutely, and that's the beautiful thing about what you do. So, okay, it's Christmas. I want to know a little bit more about you, Taylor. Like, you're coming out, you're sort of coming to self-acceptance, and how your mom kind of played a role in that.
Well, I think I came out to myself. I actually had a friend, a trans woman friend, who we were senior year of high school at the beginning. At the same time, she was like learning more and doing research and figuring things out. And I was independently doing more, learning things, figuring things out. And then at one point I told her just like, hey, I think I'm trans. I think this is big. And she was like, me too. So it was a mutual coming out. But then there was the whole family issue. It was like, oh shoot. Like, you know, trans, it's a little different in gay that like, this is, you know, for those who want to medically transition, you can't really hide it. Like this is something that has to happen. So I think, you know, the thing that ended up happening was one night I was doing college applications. I was really stressed at the end of the night. You know, I was just ready to go to bed. And I told my mom good night. We had talked and then she went off to bed, but she sensed that there was something up with me. So she came back and we ended up talking some more and I ended up coming out. And I think from the very beginning, it was kind of hard just because, you know, having 18 years of your life, and I wasn't out as gay or anything. I literally went from my mom thinking I was a straight female to, sorry, I'm a trans man.
A model in New York City, you know, yeah.
Oh, hush.
Seriously, it was a big change.
You know, I'm assuming we have more than just, you know, our LGBT viewers. So for any parents that are watching right now, what was your feeling? What went through your head? Like, what advice would you give any parent that their child has come out as trans? I mean, we'll ask my mom about gay. I honestly, I don't know if it's a completely different experience, whether it's trans, gay, bi, whatever it is. But for you, what was going through your head? What sort of advice would you give to a parent whose child just came out as trans to them?
Well, as I've often said, you will go through a process that's your process, which is understandable. Your life has been built around your child. And, you know, I know, Colby, your mom knew, but I didn't get that part. And so it was incredibly surprising. As I said, it felt for me in the case of a trans child that my daughter died in that moment. I mean, someone might as well just have come up and knocked on the door and said, your daughter was in a car accident, because Taylor was gone as a daughter at that moment. But then Taylor was standing right in front of me, and nobody prepares you for this. Nobody prepares you for, wait a minute, what just happened? And there's so many ways in which you second guess yourself. Did I get it wrong? Why didn't I see this? All of those kinds of things. And so you have your process, but more important, when you're a young mom and your kid's throwing up, you don't say, I'm sorry, I'm busy. You help them, and so in the same way, when your child, and I'm not saying that you're sick, I'm just saying that your need was more important than mine at that moment. And so I left my needs to my own time, I like to say. And I dealt with it very specifically. I went and walked this hill behind our house every day for hours. And I cried and I got mad and I did all of my stuff, but I did that on my own time. So that Taylor could then have my support when I was present with Taylor. And that's not to say it was always easy. I remember one time in the doctor's office when we were talking about the surgery, I literally just broke down because I just said, this is hard. So it was hard for me, but I also, Taylor was always first.
I think my mom's willingness to put me kind of ahead of her own, her own issues was really critical in terms of being a parent, and I'm very grateful for that. But I think also for the people who are coming out, also, be respectful of your parents, that it is really hard, and especially with trans, it's like a death of your child. So it's definitely, it's a lot of understanding. I think just really open communication and a willingness to be mindful of the other person's needs is what it really takes to have things work out well.
Yeah, and it was also, I have to say, it was very scary for me because I had lost a brother to suicide. And I knew the suicide rates of at least attempted suicide for the transgender community,
40%,
ridiculously high. And so I was scared to death. I mean, I was literally, that was my biggest thing, is I was just scared when I started. And I wanted to know, like, how stable are you, and how okay are you? And I think that's also normal. And yeah, he was fine. I wasn't fine right away, but he'd been dealing with it for a while. So.
Right. Okay, well, Taylor, on that topic, I can almost guarantee that we have viewers out there that are struggling with their own, they know that they're trans, but they're having a little bit of trouble accepting it. What sort of advice can you give to them to sort of make that easier? Like, what if someone out there is kind of just like, okay, I'm trans, but they can't really admit it to themselves, what sort of advice can you give them to kind of put them at ease to be able to accept themselves for who they really are?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many factors. I'm actually studying to become a counseling psychologist, so I think about all these things, but it's really
psychology too.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. But it's about thinking about, what feels natural for me. Because that was one thing that was big in deciding whether I wanted to transition or not, is, who am I going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? And what, how does who I am now and who I am in the past relate to that? Can I see a future where I'm, being the way I currently am versus, being my true self? Do I want to live the rest of my life in a way that might not be authentic? And really being willing to ask that question, what is authentic? And I think once, as scary as it is, if you know somewhere inside you what's authentic, work towards getting to there. I mean, I recognize that life circumstances certainly don't make it easy in a lot of cases, and you have to be safe first. Absolutely, don't put yourself in danger. But once you say, what do I want for my future? What is my past suggest to me? I know from when I was little that I was just like, I would have been much happier being born male. I know that, and that informed me. So looking into the past and looking to the future, who do I want to be, and who I am? If you ask those questions together, and you find a truth, even if it's uncomfortable, I would say, that tells you something. It really does.
Are there any specific resources that you would recommend for anyone in the trans community that is, you know, they're new, they're just coming out, or they're thinking of coming out as trans, like, and they need support, do you have any suggestions of where they can look?
It's a mix. I know for me, just actually seeing YouTube videos of all things, seeing guys who have successfully transitioned was really like, it made it much more real that this is possible. Because I think, especially at the beginning, I was in the position where I'm like, you know, this isn't possible. My life's gonna suck. Being trans is completely miserable. But seeing guys having successfully transitioned was just a big reassurance. But as far as actual resources, I would say, you know, sponsored websites from organizations that really know what they're doing. Trevor Project is amazing. If you're ever feeling down about your situation, call them. They're really great. And also, if you find, if there are trans supportive counseling psychologists local, talk with a counseling psychologist. They can really help you work through those emotions. Again, very, very much check that they are trans competent. But that's what I would say.
I think that's a really good point, because obviously you want to go to someone that actually knows and has experience with trans, because it's not something that is just like, oh, I just can check that off, learn that in school. You know, it's a very experiential sort of thing where, you know, it's until you go through it, or you've really, like, for me, I can't speak about trans. I mean, I love you, but I can't speak on, you know, your journey, but I can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say kind of the same thing about being gay, which it is a little different than being trans, because being trans involves physically changing into the opposite gender. Gay, it's like nothing really changes because nobody's really seeing who I'm taking to my bedroom.
Thank God.
So.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, you know, there's commonalities and there is differences as well. And I would say mutually, I can't speak to the experiences of a cisgender gay man in the gay community. I don't know fully what that's like. Of course, you hear about things, but you know, it's very different experiences. And I think, you know, you got to connect with people from all parts of the LGBTQ community, and, you know, within kind of your corner as well, to have kind of that larger community and mutual understanding from within the community.
Absolutely, and understanding that if you were trans, if you were gay, if you were bi, if you were queer, whatever you want to identify as, that we are collectively, all of our letters, we're our little alphabet soup, we are a community, and that we do all support each other. So that even if it's not another trans person, that, you know, a bisexual person or a gay person or a lesbian, that we are all family, and that, you know, we're in this together.
I love each and every one of y'all. My heart, I do.
So since she started,
I want to hear her story about being a mom and what happened for her.
yeah. So what, for anyone that's potentially watching, what advice would you give to any parents that their child has just come out to them, or even as we talked about before, where you knew before I did? What advice would you give to parents about dealing with and accepting, and how they can actually be there for their child?
I think the answer for both of those questions are pretty much the same. As parents, it is our responsibility to give our children a foundation. And as they grow, be there to support them. Because we've already lived through some trials and tribulations of life. And although the situations may not be the same, you still have to learn how to get through them. And I think to any parent, you have got to be patient with them, as well as your child has to be patient with you too, because you're both trying to figure things out. I think it would probably be, it wasn't hard for me, because I pretty much knew before Colby did, way before Colby did. But it hurt my heart to see the torment and the confusion and just the loss feelings that I saw that he projected, but we can't do it for our children. Unfortunately, we can't step in and say, here, baby, let me get you through. Let me just pick you up, take you from this bad dada and put you in this good dada. It doesn't work that way. You've got to learn it on your own, but we have to be there to support them. Colby went through a couple of years of, he just wasn't sure. And when he finally came out, it was such a weight off my heart, because I would pray, please God, let him see who he is so that he can be happy. And, you know, my prayers were answered. But then my next set of prayers were, now give him the strength to handle everything that's going to come his way. And that is not just for LGBT people. You know, it's not. That's for everyone. Because the world can be a cruel place. I wish that we had like a gazillion Robins out there. I mean, it would just be a beautiful place. You have a wonderful mom, Taylor.
Absolutely.
You have a wonderful
mom.
And y'all are both beautiful.
Thank
But
you.
that's it. I mean, be patient. Just because you don't understand something does not mean it's wrong.
That's it right there.
Exclamation point. Say that again.
It is. It's very simple. Just because you don't understand it does not, or you don't agree with it, doesn't make it wrong. Just makes it your opinion. And that's all it is. You don't have to, you know, be, oh, gung-ho gay, you know. My God, you don't have to do that. Accept your child for who they are. Period. That's it. Just love them so that they can grow into, I mean, our future is here. It's you, Taylor. It's all of you out there. It's you, Colby. You know, y'all are our future. So parents out there, get your shit together.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I mean, I just want you to, I want to give you a soapbox to stand on and preach, because you got it. You so got it. You so got it. You know, and I know Debbie's got it too. And what I hope our young viewers, I hope all of our viewers can understand is that you may not have known a mom, you know, like us yet, but we are out here. You know, we're just three of us right here, but there are so many of us out there. And I want you to know that's normal. It's normal to be accepted.
Everyone.
She's accepting applications. So
Yes, exactly. Great.
I think that's one thing that's a little bit the research nerd in me, but also, you know, I'm looking into LGBT issues as part of my research. I'm doing a PhD program. And for those parents out there, for siblings, really social support, being supported by your family is one of the biggest factors protecting from, you know, from depression, from anxiety, from drug use. I mean, you really are in the driver's seat in terms of really helping your family members, your queer family members. And I know that from my family as well, my mom, my stepdad, my brother. The more support they have, the better they'll be. So love your kids. Love, love, love them, please.
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is, you know, about 9% of the US population identify as gay. Mm-hmm. Of the homeless population, 40% identify as LGBT. That's almost half of the youth on the street are gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really important for people to realize out there that why we need to have this community, why we need organizations like Your Holiday Mom. We need to be there for each other because we know the struggle. We know that it's not always easy, and that we owe it to our brothers and sisters to not feel alone. it really breaks my heart seeing so many people not feeling loved because of who they are, and all they're trying to do is be themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I know this is Holiday Mom, but I think Colby, you and I can both say we're both holiday brothers as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yay.
They're prepared.
So
Do I know my family.
So that's why this entire opportunity with you, Robin, it has been such a pleasure and such an honor. Like, what you're doing is just so beautiful. And for me to be able to come in and help spread the word, spread the love to maybe reach even one more person is the best gift I could ever receive. So thank you for doing what you do, and then also allowing me to come in.
I mean, it takes
someone else.
all of us. It takes all of us. And I'm if I could be your honorary mom for 2 minutes, you've got an amazing mom, but for if I could be a side mom for 2 minutes, I just want to say that I'm proud of how you've used your journey, and you had a lot of choices about it, and you made some really good ones, and that just needs to be celebrated.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for using your platform in this way, Colby. I mean, it's really, you already know it makes a huge impact, and it's, it takes a lot to put yourself out there like that. So thank you for doing that.
It's, it is my pleasure. Whenever I came out, I like I said, I saw porn stars and I saw drag queens, and I saw no in between, and I said, well, I don't want to be either one of those things, so I'll become what I need. And it has been my mission ever since then to be able to provide that, because I know whenever I came out how much I needed it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important for me to not only use my voice and my platform. I am incredibly blessed and incredibly lucky to have the voice and the platform that I have, that it is my social responsibility to give back to the community and help those that were in the situation that I was in.
Absolutely.
I just want all of you out there to know that even though, like, Taylor had support, Colby had support from their moms, it's still very, very hard. It's not a walk in the park. I saw him struggle through a lot of things. So if you're out there without that physical mom there or dad there to support you, trust me, you're not alone. And we're here. We're all here for you. And you're all beautiful. And I love y'all.
Yay. Hey, I have one thing I'd like to share with moms that might be struggling, because I've had some people write me and ask me if I would speak to their moms directly. And I'm going to do that on January 1st, our last day of the year, on Your Holiday Mom. I'm going to write something about that. But here's the easiest, most simple way that I can say this. Even if as a mom you are struggling to accept the situation as different than what you had thought it was, or a way that you don't want it to be, you cannot afford to not say, and no matter what, I love you. You can't, your child can't live without that. And so regardless, you can tell all of your story and all of your stuff and have all of your, but underneath there should be that one moment when you say, and no matter what, I love you. That's what your child needs to hear. That's what your child deserves to hear. And that's what your child may not be able to live without. So that's where, that's where I really want, it's so simple, that one piece. It doesn't deny what you're going through, but it cuts through to that bottom line.
I like that. You're right.
I love it. So, Robin, let's talk about the future, because I hope Your Holiday Mom is not going anywhere, and it's only going to get bigger and better and become even more than I can imagine. So, It's Thanksgiving through New Year's, correct?
Yep, each year. And people have asked us if we could go year round, and we don't really have the the volunteer staff. I mean, we run on volunteers, and it's actually a pretty big job to put together. So anyone who wants to volunteer, editors and people who post on the blog and commenters and all that, we really, I can't do it alone. I have several social change projects. I try to have a new one every year. So this is now in its 4th year. And thank you to Lisa James, who's done this for the last 2 years, doing all the posting and the editing and that sort of thing. And we'll need someone new for next year. But as far as what I hope is that what happens is that the idea takes root in the culture. I like to call myself a social change artist. And what that means is I don't want this to just be something that happens on the holidays. I want this to take root in our culture, that it's to be expected that moms love their LGBT kids. It's just, that's what I want to have happen.
Absolutely.
It'll happen.
It is happening, and it's exciting. It's, like I said, this year's the biggest one we've had, and Colby, again, thank you for bringing your voice to it as well.
I'm not the one doing it. You did all the work. I just plugged it into the platform. I can't take credit for it. This is you, girl.
Well, it really takes all of us, and I tell people everybody can change the world. This took about $14 and a lot of elbow grease. Anybody can do it. You just have to get out there and do something and stick your neck out. I didn't know, honestly, when I started it, I was afraid I might, with my very first video and the audio with it, I was afraid I might say it wrong, that I might, not be politically correct, or I might step on toes. I did. I'm like, is this okay? You don't know, but you have to have the courage to put it out there if that's your conviction. You have to wear the bracelet. You have to talk to the neighbors. Don't just wait for someone else to create a project. Go out there and
do it yourself.
Yeah, and be the voice of change.
I love that. That's and people don't realize how simple it is to change the world. All you need is a belief and good intention, and look what can happen. I'm sure whenever you started Your Holiday Mom, it's because you absolutely believed in it and still believe in it. Did you ever think that it would get this big?
No, I mean, I didn't know what it would do. But I tell you, when I first started reading those comments, one from the very first year, it just catches me, is a girl wrote and said, "I'm sitting here with my little brother sobbing. We're both sobbing. He's in my lap. We never thought we would hear a mother say, 'I love you.'"
Oh.
That's just so undeniably wrong that exists, that I had to do something. I had to keep going with it. I had to figure out a way to keep bringing this love. And you'll see, go read the comments. You'll see it's still needed. It's still.
Well, we're going to take this opportunity for this individual and all the other individuals out there, that not only one, but we'll have 3 mothers say I love you and 2 brothers. How about that?
That's right. Let's do it together.
That's it.
Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3.
I love you. Wait, we have to do it. Because of the switch in it, we have to do it 3 and 2. So we'll do 2 and then you guys. All right, ready? So 1, 2, 3. I love you.
We completely messed that.
Your turn. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I love you.
He says it so much cuter than me.
He's Colby.
Can't compete with that.
You're wonderful too. Oh, thank you so much. I think this has been absolutely perfect. I thank you so much to you other moms, and just.
And all the moms who wrote the letters.
Yes.
To all of the moms that
Sorry, we say
who
bye
have stepped
to
in
friends.
and, you know, been here to support, whether you have children of your own or you're just, you know, a kind-hearted person that's been there. Your work is truly valued, and you have changed lives. And you're making the world a better place.
Yep.
And it's gonna come back around to you. So just all of the moms involved with Your Holiday Mom are beautiful, beautiful people. And thank you for supporting my brothers and sisters in the community.
Absolutely. And gender non-binary individuals. Brothers, sisters, and siblings.
However you want to identify.
All the
All of them. Oh, Lucia and Debbie, thank you so much for being holiday moms with us. I feel those waterworks in the background that are just love dripping down. I just love that. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
And thank you, Colby, as well. Thank you, Lucia, Debbie. Both of you are amazing. Debbie, thank you for, you know, expanding your heart for all the children out there. So
Your mother too.
She's adopted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wish you all happy holidays, and let's just see what happens next year.
Sounds great.
And until then, you can find us on Moovz, where you will always have love and support. Until next year's Your Holiday Mom season, we'll be there, and we'll still be waiting with open arms to give you a hug.
Have a great year and be you.
Love you.
love you.
Mwah.